Well, welcome back to our live stream. We are getting ready for game number 2 for Cornerstone in the 2025 Fieldcrest Invitational Volleyball Tournament. We are coming to you live from the megalopolis of Minonk, Illinois, and wanted to share some updates with you. We're going to probably get started a little bit earlier here. There has not been a single 3-set game so far this morning. They've been very clean wins by all teams involved, and I'm going to give you guys a few updates as we get geared up for the second game here, which is the Cornerstone Cyclones against the Clinton Maroons. And we'll give you some more information in just a minute. But, hey, I want to invite in a new voice that's going to maybe join me here. And, Sean, why don't you give the crowd a little introduction of who you are and what the heck you're doing here?
Sure thing. Eric was riding solo today. He looked at me and said, Sean, you've got a face for radio. Why don't you come and make your voice heard? So I couldn't resist an invitation like that. So just going to help him with doing a little color commentary, filling some air. And if you like what you hear, tough, because this is a one-time gig.
It's a one-time thing. And, Sean, who are you? Who specifically are you here supporting so the folks at home know who you're going to be biased towards?
Number 19, Mackenzie Bowl.
Number 19. One of our favorites, of course, Mackenzie, who several times Dan and I both talked, Sean, about what a great job she's done so far this year. She's stepped up. And Mackenzie's one of those players that can fill many different roles. She's called upon to serve. She does some setting. She's got a wicked kill on the side here. So really enjoy watching Mackenzie play. I've seen her do a lot of really good work for the Cyclones this season. How's she feeling so far? I mean, is she feeling good about how the season's going? I mean, what do you hear from her?
Yeah, she's just she loves to be out there and play. She just loves everything about the team and participating. So, you know, even if thankfully we get to see her play some, and you know, even if she was here just holding the clipboard, she'd be happy to be out here. She loves it. Loves everything about it, loves to compete, and just likes to hang out with her friends. So
yeah. Well, I think she does a great job. How's your ears? You can hear okay?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Good. So, hey, just to catch everybody up that's joining online, a couple things I can share with you. Just give you some updates on the games and how things are going. And I'm also going to see if I can reach out here to my friends online, see if I can get a validation that sounds okay. I think the beginning of the last game, I think the sound was a little off. We were having a little bit of trouble here. And so I'm going to go to my phone of friends and just see how things are going here, which includes Mr. Dan Kinzinger, the man, the myth, the legend, who abandoned us to go sit on a combine with. No, I'm kidding. It's really neat to hear him talk about the combine and getting to harvest and how much he loves that time of year. So, you know, I give him a lot of credit because that is hard work.
Yes.
That's to me, it's almost a calling.
Yeah, I've had some farmers in my bloodline. Some of my uncles on my dad's side were all farmers, and yeah, it's no joke.
Lots of hard work. Well, they're getting ready to line up, and as Dan would say, exchange COVID. A couple updates I can share through the morning for those that are interested as you're jumping online here. There have been 3 matches played, and this is the 4th match of the morning. Fieldcrest has played 2 matches and won both, so they've won all 4 sets that they've played. Clinton is played 1 game, and they are 1-for-1, and they won their game 2 sets to none. Cornerstone dropped its first match, and Delavan is now 0-2. Again, two sets per game, so pretty clear winners in each match. The last game between Fieldcrest and Delavan was a 25-10, 25-11 contest. So pretty clear, Sean, that the Fieldcrest is out ahead so far in this bracket. It'll be interesting to see here. You know, as we were watching the warm-ups and watching the Maroons play the last game, they've got some dangerous players. Number 3, Carly Bless, left-handed server that had some really nice serves out of the back. Number 11, Lila Clover, if I'm saying that right, or Kluver, She is a strong outside hitter, very good elevation, a lot of power behind her hits. And just all along the first game, Sean, the front line for Clinton was just very strong, a lot of good blocking. And to me, I thought that Clinton and Delavan originally in the first set that they played were very evenly matched. But then, again, Clinton came out on top the second time. I think the second match is a little bit more one-sided. But here we go. We are underway. First, we got a basket. For Clinton, that's 2 points automatically, I think. Audrey Young bumps over to Riley Mountjoy, sends it to the back row. Their libero bumps it up to the front. Just bumped over here. Oh, that's going to give Riley some trouble. And just like that, it is 1-0.
Yeah, I think that basket saved them there because Audrey had a really strong serve there, and hitting that basket and bouncing back into the field of play, I think gave them the opportunity to set up cleanly.
Yeah, the Clinton team seemed very cohesive. They were very good at getting into system, setting up their hitters fairly well. And thus far, we have not had the chance to really do that. We just need to get organized here early in the game for your Cornerstone Cyclones.
Putting all the pieces together. We struggled a little this morning. We'll hopefully call it some early morning jitters and get back on track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I think one of the things I thought, Sean, that really stood out to me would be a need to improve on our serve. I think we had, I didn't count them, but several serves ended up in the net. And, we talk a lot in the games preceding this one that, one of the things Cornerstone can really do better for itself is just to stop scoring points for the other team, right? We feel like we've had a lot of, we call them unforced errors, where we're just kind of giving a lot of points away. So hopefully we'll see that turn around here in this first set.
Well, there's a couple of real strong serves right there while we were talking, and hopefully that'll get the ball rolling. We got, Dan likes to say, a little bit of a net monster there on our side. So, that's the third. Wow. Just really strong serve to drop without a return.
I'll say it again. I've said it in the last 3 matches. Excuse me. I'll say it again. Give Leah the ball.
Yes.
Because she is delivering these past few games, and here she goes again. And I will, because Dan's not here, I don't mind I'll say it. I'll call that a twirly gig. I'm good with that.
The coach is in my way, so you're going to have to call all celebrations.
He's oddly specific about the twirly gig, but that's all right. That's all right. Everyone's got their thing. Oh, great block in the front. Great block in the front. Now, I don't know if you saw Josie kind of put her hands up like that. Like, I thought for a minute she was calling herself off, saying, nope, sorry, I got the net, or something happened there. But
from my viewpoint, it looked like it was net, but, looks better in the stat book since it hit the ground and they called it a block.
That's right. Great dig out by Lizzie to set up. Maddie Berry just bumps it over. Here goes Josie, backside. What a great placement there by Josie. Sean, I got to tell you, the last couple of games, Josie has just been phenomenal. Last game, if I remember my stats, the ones I took, at least 5 blocks, at least 4 kills.
Yeah.
So she's delivered on both sides of the equation, offense and defense, for the Cyclones these past couple of games. It's been really impressive to watch her confidence continue to rise.
Yeah, she was very, very impressive in Thursday's match. I think really came into her own and started to do some of the things we know she can do.
Oh, that's good backcourt hit by the Maroons, and they will get their serve back. Cyclones up 7-3 so far, and we've got a couple substitutions coming out. We see Avery Baca in the game for the Cyclones. I'm trying to track those as much as I can. I don't always catch them, but we'll likely see Avery serving pretty soon. Now that's a tough angle on that one.
Yeah.
Boy, Lizzie has been really phenomenal. The last game we watched her, just a lot of good power, not good power and placement together. We see coach a lot of times saying, Lizzie, Leah, whoever, you got to come around on that ball more. Lizzie's doing a much better job of that this morning so far.
Yeah, really painting that back row and helping the team out, keeping it in bounds.
That's right. Hey, if you're just joining us, we are early. So we are at the mercy of those that are in control of the tournament. And this is an 11 o'clock game that is now scored 7-5 at 10:48 a.m. So you're just as surprised as we are, but we are coming to you live from Minonk. Great dig by Audrey Young. Sets up Avery. It's going to go over to Lizzie. Got outside the goalposts.
This low ceiling is wreaking havoc today. That's, I think, fourth or fifth ball I've seen hit that and change direction.
Yeah.
So,
yep. There's it's a school in town, I think, if I remember right. Was it not U-High, but there's another school in town that the girls talk about, really low ceiling. It really gets in your head, if you're thinking about it.
Well, U-High has that net that hangs in the middle that,
yeah, that's right.
Especially for the younger players where a lot of the balls coming over are free balls, end up grazing that net.
Yep, that's right. Good hustle by Audrey to keep it in. Lizzie gets it back over the net. Front line for the Maroons. They just bump it over. Audrey digs it out. Mountjoy to Barry. Back row. This is causing some trouble for the Maroons. Just got to bump it over. Oh, yeah, so close, so close. That's okay. If I'm coach, Sean, I'm saying, hey, Josie, keep at it.
Yep.
Keep at it.
We kind of
went up at an angle and maybe could have got a little closer to the net, but that's the right response. Didn't get the result we wanted, but we got the right behavior. So. Oh, look at that. All right, let's get set up here in system, ladies. Oh, so close. All right, so close. Riley just needed just a little more elevation on that.
Yep.
And a couple substitutions. Audrey's going to come out. Allie Kinzinger, number 17, is going to step in to the front line for the Cyclones, who are now down 9-7. We were up to a good start here, and Maroons have caught up.
Nice block by Josie.
Far side. Whoa, she just hit that one into the next time zone.
I think
number
that
11.
Still going.
Number 11 for Clinton. That's Leila Clover. Clever. I'm not sure how to say her last name. Apologies if I missed that, but we mentioned her at the very start of the broadcast that she's got a really good kill attempt over there on that far side. So you look out for number 11. I think the Maroons are going to go to her for quite a bit of offense this morning. Maddie Fisher back to serve.
Ava with a good block attempt. Just I think just a hair early on that. She comes up just a half second later. That's a good put down.
Yeah. All right. Maddie Fisher out. And then Maddie Berry in as a libero via Josie Zellers. The substitution process in volleyball is I'm not exactly sure what the analogy is, Sean, but it is less than simple. Let's just start there. Back in the back, Avery sets up Allie, who just dumps it over. Front line for the Maroons, coming back into the net. And the Cyclones now within one. 10-9.
And it's especially difficult to track at these tournaments because, you've got to rotate in more people to keep everybody fresh. And, last tournament, Coach used all of his substitutions in one game. So there was I'd never seen that before. I'm still relatively new to volleyball, but
there's like a quota, right?
Yeah, 18
yeah.
substitutions, not including the liberos. So
well, there you go. Everyone that's listening in, you're learning as I am. I thought it was I couldn't remember what the number was, but I had heard there was a max number of substitutions. Now, couldn't get it over in 3, so we're going to send it back over the net, back to the Maroons, who are now leading 12-9. Once again, I think hopefully, maybe on a phone it's difficult to watch, but if you're on a laptop or TV, you should be able to see the scoreboard there at the top of your screen. If you're on a phone, especially a small phone, you may have a little trouble with that, but 9-12, Maroons are up. Bumps over to the far side. Back in the back, dugout. Lizzie Rogers, what a nice
play.
What a nice play by Lizzie. Give Lizzie the ball, too. I'm telling you what, she is on today. And Dan says it. I'm not sure. I think he's called this longer than I have. He'll talk about some of these ladies when they're on, when they're off, they're off. And hey, just like anybody, I got those days. But Lizzie so far today has just been fantastic.
Yeah, and that wasn't just a mindless swing. That was a big swing and a perfect placement. Really, really impressive. And then the serve to follow it up, the ace. And again, I couldn't see the celebration, so I'll let you call whether it was a celebration foul.
Oops, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Oh, this one's going to be trouble. Over back to the Cyclones.
Well,
Mountjoy
nice
to
hit.
Kinzinger. I like that combination, too. That's worked pretty well for us so far. Back in the back, Lizzie, another great dig from the back row. Sets it up for Barry. Sends it deep. This is going to be trouble as well for the Maroons. They're just going to have to bump it back over. Oh, yeah.
A little miscommunication on the midcourt there.
Yeah. Plays like that, Sean, I always try when I can, try to peek over and see what's coach's reaction. What's he talking to the girls about? And, that one, he just kind of did a couple hand claps like, that's just a tough one.
Yep.
I'm not sure there's a lot you can do about that one. Rogers back to Mountjoy. Leah Huffman with a big hit. Just
a little too much pepper on that one.
A little too much. And Coach, as usual, you'll see him make this gesture, this over the top gesture that, hey, Leah, just give it another second. I know you're hyped up. You got some adrenaline. Just give it a second. Here's Hughes.
Oh, nice hit.
All right, we'll take that. Hit. We'll take that from Hughes up front. Hughes, I've talked to her. I don't know if you know. I know her well. And I was asking her how the girls are feeling about the last few games. You know what they said, Sean, was what she said was, the girls come out and they play this first set and they just feel like they're just working hard. And for some reason, they get into the second set and the perception, I'll call it perception, that's not what it was said, but the perception is that the other team just seems to just up their game in the second set.
Mm-hmm.
And they say it just becomes difficult to compete. And I don't know if you would agree from watching the game, Sean, but I kind of said, well, I think that's all in your head. I don't know if I've seen anything.
I don't think it's the other team up in their games. I think it's us needing to cut down on some of the errors we're making in the second set.
That's right. Clinton coach wanted a net violation call, I believe that was.
Looked real clean from it. Okay.
Wow. Leah's aiming for the uprights in the football field out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I think
she'll be mad at me
up off her fingers.
She's gonna come shake her fist at me if she hears me say that. I'm just messing with you, Leah. But I love the power, love the energy, love the excitement. But we've got to get those kill attempts under control, because again, those are those unforced errors that just, depending on the game, really plague us.
Yeah. See, and there's another one.
Yeah, that was the other way around.
Gotta get it up and over.
Yeah.
Yep.
Other way around. All right, 17-12 in favor of Clinton. We're going to take a second pass through this serve here. Wow, good serve. Just barely cleared the net. Mountjoy. To
just
Zellers.
A little much.
Yeah, that was
really
strange.
Good idea, good placement. Just gave it a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Well, but see, that's what 3-4 of those we've probably mentioned in the last half dozen serves. So we obviously we can isolate what the issues are that are plaguing us in terms of our offensive production. I feel like defensively, I think we're doing really good so far. The back row seems to be holding their own in terms of digging the ball out, get to our setters. It's just a matter of setting up a good system offense. And there's another example of just we're either hitting too hard or we're hitting into the net. And wisely, Coach Morin says, "Hey, ladies, let's talk about it here for a minute." And so they will.
Yeah, and there's nothing, to point at to say we're not doing this right as a team. It's just some individual, little too much, little too little, and I don't know how much of that is just first set nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Girls really wanting to kill it, and then girls being afraid they're going to kill it and pulling it a little short.
Yes. Yeah.
But overall, I think us getting in system, it's looked pretty good so far. Like you said, we've given away a few points into the net, out back court. But overall, it's been fairly impressive.
Yeah, it's just to me, I see flashes of like digging the ball to the back's good, and we've had a few that were just really well hit that we were having trouble handling. But just generally speaking, I think the serve receive has been better this game. So we're handling the serve, getting it to the setters very well. I see Mountjoy getting fed very consistently, and Allie when she's in that role as well. But we've got to be able to finish, and we have to not worry about the power or the accuracy. What we have to really do more than anything is we just need to get the ball over the net. And we've said this all season. Oh, here's one's going to be trouble. Look at that.
Oh.
Well, we'll take that one.
Yeah.
My goodness. Good heads-up play by Cornerstone to keep it alive, though. But anyway, what we keep talking about time and time again is these unforced errors. And the more that we can just get the ball over the net and make the other team make plays, especially if you think about, this morning, the 8 o'clock game, and then really the last couple games we played, our front line's been very good, getting in their face, getting blocks, making them work hard. Oh, that bugs me.
I know, this low ceiling, it's tough, because that's...
Then again, I'll call it 1 for 1, because the last one
yeah,
actually kind of helped
1 for 1 there, but...
Nice serve from the back. That is Charlie Green nope, that is the wrong team. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong roster. That's Carly Bless from Maroons.
Nice hit.
Well done up front. So front line, I think if we can just get those kills, just rein those in, and not try to overpower. We're going to have Audrey Young step back in for the Cyclones to serve. I have a question, Sean. How much more pink could Audrey's shoes be? My answer is none. None more pink. I don't know if you have a different opinion.
They're definitely competing with most hued with Maddie Berry's there.
Yes. Yes. Excellent.
All right, good. Net on them, not on us.
Now we got a football score. It's 21-14. Young back to serve again.
Check your squares.
That's right.
Oh, nice serve.
Look at that. All right, let's see. Is there going to be a twirly-gig? There is. Audrey Young, good on you. Good on you. I mean, we'd rather see the serve, Audrey, so don't worry about dancing if it breaks your concentration. But I really like what I've seen from Audrey from the back. That was a little long, but I really like what we're seeing in terms of her serving. Generally speaking, and I don't have the stats in front of me to back this, so hopefully I'm on the right track. But I would say Audrey has been one of our more consistent servers. She's not trying to just kill it; she's just trying to get it in play.
Yep, but they're nice hard hit balls. They're nothing that the other team can just, kind of think about lollipopping. But it's consistency.
Lizzie Rogers. Oh, good job by Mountjoy just to keep it in play. Front line, right up front. Oh, Josie with another great block. Boy, she's right on top of that every time. Young to Bowles. Big hit. Oh, Lizzie with a great save. Keep this ball in play. Back over the net. Here we go. Far side. Lizzie gets a hand on it, but that was a tough one. Well played point, though.
Yeah. And see, those are the ones you don't get it. Sometimes the other team makes good plays, and you can't get upset about it.
No, not at all.
You just need to make sure you're executing on your side, and if you do that, your good plays will outnumber theirs, and you'll win the game.
That's right. Oof, this one's gonna be tough. Lizzie just bumps it over. Libero sets up there, near side, just bumps it over. Mountjoy setting up Audrey Young, who is gonna bump it to Lizzie, backside. That's going to be trouble. All right.
We'll take it. We'll take a little unearned point for our team. We need it.
That's right. We'll take it. Well, a couple substitutions for the Maroons, and we're just trying to scrape our way back into this, Sean, with 23-16. So we have very, very small margin of error now. But with Leah stepping back to serve, if she can keep this under control, she always seems to get really good power on her serves. If she can keep it down low. We need to keep our serve here. That's what we want. Front side, Young. To Leah Hoffman. Lizzie Rogers, once again from the near side. Good kill attempt. Far side. That's going to be trouble. That's a tough one to handle, Sean. I don't know.
and again, that goes back to sometimes the other team's going to make good plays.
Yep, that's right.
And
that's exactly right.
you just got to try to make your own good plays to limit them getting in system, limit those big hits.
Well, I always give Maddie Berry the title, like most frequently on the ground trying to dig stuff out. She's just, man, she is scrappy, and I saw her just dive as she usually does, trying to get under that. Avery Ibaka, nice dump by Audrey Young just to get the ball over the net. Far side for the Maroons, just dumped it right into the donut. And that's going to be set number 1. Just like that. Just after this normal starting time of the game, we've got the end of the first set. And that would bring set number 1 to the Clinton Maroons. Score of 25. Score of 25 to, well, they erased it. 16, I believe, is what it was. So, yeah, and that's, again, I don't know if I can really fault the team for, for any egregious errors. I just think a couple things come to mind. First, especially on that far side, I'm going to try to get her name right. Lila Clever, on the far side for the Maroons. Just a really heavy hitter. Just, again, good elevation on her kill attempts. Just good power behind her. She's hitting the ball at a really nice angle. It's a really tough ball to defend, and I don't know how many kills she has. I'm not tracking those, but she's been one of their go-to hitters on that far side for Clinton. And on our side, again, nothing I can think of, Sean, that's really egregiously, like, just, we're doing wrong.
No, it's not anything team-wise. It's, we gave away, I think, eight points maybe there, especially in the beginning. Ball into the net, ball into the backcourt, and, clean that up, get some stronger hits, and I think we're going to see a real competitive game on this next one.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. I'd like to break the mold here. We haven't had a third set game in this entire side of the tournament. We recognize, for those folks joining us online, this is the high school. This is Fieldcrest High. The other half of the tournament, it's an 8-team tournament. The other 4-team round robin set is actually in a different town at the junior high. But yeah, has not been a third set game yet. And if I'm being honest with you, I don't believe that any of the second sets that I've watched have been really, really super close. It's typically been like a 25-10, 25-12 game. And Clinton is executing well.
Yeah.
Right. I think that they're finding their way under the ball. They're finding their way to their setters. And I feel like they're in system more often than we are. Mm-hmm. So hopefully what coach is telling them over there is just, hey, girls, like, look, we've got a good start. We're handling the ball well. We're getting good digs out of the bottom or out of the serve. We just have to get a little bit more, I'll say, tactical in terms of getting the ball to our setters and really getting power behind our kills when we need to, and just look for ways to actually try to put the ball on the ground versus just dump it over. That's been maybe something I've seen a little more often than I'd like to this game so far.
Yeah, and watching the first set, there was nothing there that said, hey, there's no way we're beating this team. I think, they've got some good players, and, they've made some good plays, but I think we put a few more things together, a couple, just a handful fewer unforced errors, and that, it's a totally different game.
Yes, I agree. And see, I like the way you look at it. As a glass half full. That's how I look at it, too. Yeah. Well, getting ready for the start of, for those that are just joining us, not getting ready for the start of the first set, getting ready for the start of the second set at 7 minutes after start time. The tournament's really kind of ahead of schedule, so that's probably going to throw a few people off that were planning to join right about now to listen in.
Yeah.
But we are getting ready to start our second set between the Cornerstone Cyclones and the Clinton Maroons. On the court for the Cornerstone Cyclones, Audrey Young, Maddie Berry, Riley Mountjoy, Leah Huffman, and Josie Zellers. And that's not how you really want to start. Number 3 for these Maroons. I took note of her as well. Carly Bliss, mentioned her at the top. I'm always, I know she's an opponent, but I got a soft spot for the Southpaws, being one myself, and she's got a really solid serve all around. Maroons dump it over. Lizzie sets up Audrey Young, who puts it over. We're going to get into a shot at that. Mountjoy just had a little trouble getting that over the net. Wonder if that just got played up a little closer than she expected. It's hard to see from here with the angle that we've got this morning.
Yeah, it's a tricky one to see exactly what happened, but yeah, it looks like it just got put back over and a little tough to pull up out of the net.
Yeah. Bliss again. Okay, well, hey, there's
We'll take it.
I'll say assume because that's probably the right word. I'll assume that's a rare service error for Carly Bliss. Seems like she's got a really consistent serve. So we're going to go back to Lee Huffman again.
Nice serve right there.
Glad they played that. This is going to be trouble. Just going to dump it over.
Oh, 2 hits called.
Okay.
I wonder if the refs have a quota of number of those they have to call a game, and I hadn't seen one yet, so
I don't
think
know.
they were behind.
That's a tricky one for me. That was a call of 2 hits on Clinton, so this will come back to Cornerstone. Tied up 2-2. Maroons, far side, dumped it back court. Leah sets up Audrey Young, who bumps it over. Mountjoy, boy, that was a carbon copy of two serves ago where Audrey got that ball up in the air, but just not quite playable for Riley Mountjoy. Leah's going to take a seat, and Mackenzie Bowles going to head back to that back line. Clinton to serve. And they're going to call a replay on that. It's not very often you see that.
Not when they go full in and
that's a new one.
Then bail out.
Coach Moore just wanted to get clarification on the call. You know, sometimes it's games like this too. As a coach, you got to fight for every point you can. If you got an argument to make,
Yeah.
I don't think you can. I don't think they've got a challenge flag.
Well, and I'm wondering if
volleyball.
he's making the point when she threw it up, it came down and hit her. Because typically on those, and I don't know the rules well enough to know, that's why we pay those guys in white. But, if maybe that's the question. It came down and contact was made, and it didn't make it over the net. So,
Well, this will be a learning for me too. I'm not entirely sure what's the typical protocol. So is it if the server throws the ball up to hit it and it hits them, that's considered their service attempt, or what do we?
I don't know. I don't know if that's what Coach Morin's arguing. I know you get, a free toss up. You get one free one, and if it hits the ground, then and maybe they're just looking at intent there. Obviously, she bailed out on it. She wasn't trying to hit it, so.
I'm going to see if I can figure out what exactly that's typically called as. Oh, good effort there by the Cyclones.
Yeah, dropped a little short, right in the middle on them.
Four to 2 in favor of Clinton so far. Set number 2. Bowles plays to Mountjoy, who just dumps it over. That's going to be trouble.
Nice.
Well,
good little play there. Sometimes getting it over the net and in the right spot's more important than getting it hit hard. So Maddie Fisher, we haven't seen her serve a lot in recent games, so interesting to see this in the rotation.
Yeah, always curious about the mindset there. What causes that? Like, what was the decision behind that? Here goes Lizzie. Just really got a hold of that one.
Just a little too much on it. You could kind of see it. She was kind of on her descent when the swing came, and it's tough to get the right angle when you give it that full power on your descent.
Well, Sean, this is the time of the game where this is a very decisive part of our game early in the second set. Normally, honestly, I think there's a pattern at home, especially where just there are nights where just the bottom kind of falls out, and we just have a real struggle even getting the ball over the net for a few points, and that adds up very quickly in a match like this with a Clinton team that knows how to put the ball over the net. So we need to minimize those unforced errors as much as possible. So more than anything, if I'm coach, I'm telling these girls, let's button it up, let's play smart. Don't try to make crazy plays every time. Just do just do good things like that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was, again, just very precise placement where the other players aren't. Not trying to kill the ball, just trying to put it, in a spot that's going to cause trouble.
That's right. Yeah, it's well said. Just put it where they've got to do something with it, where it causes a little bit of trouble. That's what we've kind of been saying, something along those lines pretty much most of the season. That's a really great play.
Like that.
Wow. That's right. Yeah,
they
she
must
heard
be
you.
listening to our broadcast. Yeah, we're going to have to talk a little quieter.
Avery Smith from Clinton with a nice dump in the backfield there. Caught our back row off guard just a little bit.
Everybody was cheating up, looking for that hit. And
good dig by Barry. That's just enough to get it back over the net. Now let's get organized here, ladies. Barry just going to dump it. Yeah, that was good.
yeah,
Goes deep. Maroons. Far side. Just kind of a bump over. Back to Mountjoy. Here comes Kinzinger.
nice hit.
Yep, nice to play that deep. Libero just, wow, nice back end kill attempt. Here comes Mountjoy.
Think she was expecting it a little more towards the net and ended up having too much of a move to get there. And
Four points for your Cyclones, 7 points for the Maroons here in set number 2. Barry, right over to Kinzinger. Kinzinger, right up front for Laney Smith, who's in the game. Now we're just, yep. All right, so I don't know. Again, I'm not the coach, obviously, but this I would be looking sometime soon to call a timeout. I think if we get, I would not want the lead to exceed 4 or 5 points this early in the second set.
yeah,
I'd rather get the ladies together and talk it through.
nope, yeah, I think it's time. He's walking over. Nope, just making a substitution.
Avery Baca is going to come in for Mackenzie Bowles.
Which I was very surprised that Coach Morin didn't call a timeout at all in the first match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I try to ask him some more questions about that. Like, how do you leverage that? I coach soccer, and we don't have timeouts. We don't really have we have stoppage in play, but it's just not quite the same. Boy, big hit over there.
Okay, under the net.
That's a tough one too. If you see the girls maybe her like a leg gets underneath, like something goes under there like that, but they're not really affecting the play per se. I think that's a tough one to call, and that's what was that what they were calling?
It is, but they're trying to. I understand why they do it, because if you're landing with your legs underneath and somebody's going for a block, that's how injuries happen.
Yeah.
You land on somebody's leg who has come under the net, and it's. But I agree. Sometimes those are just really hard to see.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Lizzie Rogers over to Kinzinger, cross court.
There we go.
All right, set up near side. Lizzie back to Mountjoy, just dumps it over. Smart play. Leah tried to dump it over. There's Mountjoy.
That was good recovery by the Cyclones, not letting that. All right.
All right, well, so we got our serve back, and I think we got the right one serving. I think Lizzie's had a good day so far. 9-6 in favor of Clinton. We need a little bit of a run here, Lizzie.
Oh, nice little
near
drop
side.
serve there.
Far side. Oh, hit into the next court over there. So we'll now have a 2-point deficit. 9-7. I have too many things in front of me. John, I got to. I'm not like Dan. Honestly, I'm really impressed when I watch what he does. He's got about 1 billion different buttons and knobs and faders and sliders and things. When we're away here, we just got a little mixer and an interface and a couple of headsets. He makes it look very easy, but it is not.
I am always amazed and bewildered at how much you guys have going on.
Well, I really do mean this, and it's 90-some plus percent Dan just fiddling, but he's got a passion for it. Oh, that just barely made it over the net. Leah.
Oh, the. Okay.
Yep.
Nope. Yep. 4 hits. I was wondering. I'm like, I didn't even see anybody go up for that, so I didn't. But I've got the coach kind of blocking my view a little, so
Yeah,
it feels like it'd be rude to ask her to
you want me to
move,
talk
but-
to her? Just kidding. That's good. All right, good. Got lucky on that. So, what I'd like to see though is again, mentioned it a few minutes ago. We really need to just button up our play here and just try to get in a clearer system where we're getting the ball to hitters and we're just again making smart plays to get the ball across the net.
Yeah, and I feel like we need to get to a place where we're not hanging in. We're pushing the opposition. We're making... All right, I know I don't have the best angle, and that guy is a foot away from it, but that looked like it was out to me.
No, that interesting how bias will cause your brain to be like, that was obviously out.
No, I don't mind that call. It upsets me when the ball's a foot away from the down judge and the up ref calls it in or out.
Kinzinger, good ball, hits the ceiling again. Clinton's just got to dump it back over. Here comes Lizzie Rogers, setting up Leah.
Oh, nice.
Smart play. Boy,
Oh,
good up
recovery.
front play here. Barry gets it to Mountjoy, just dumps it over again. We got a hand on that one.
Yeah, I know staying in system's important, but sometimes just making sure the ball doesn't hit the ground is critical, and I think we did a good job there, but
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
in the end we let them set up a little too well and couldn't control the chaos well enough.
Yep. Here comes Leah. Nice little dump.
There we
Cross
go.
court. Maroon's coming back. Just bumps it over. Back to Leah. Sets up Mountjoy, who sets her back up. There we go. That's a nice kill attempt. That
You know
we'll take
what?
that one.
I am very, very impressed at Leah on that particular last couple of points.
Yeah.
She's figured out she's not in the position to crank it, and so she's looking for where can I put this down kind of softly,
Yeah.
and make the other team have some trouble. And then when it came time to crank it, she delivered.
That's right. Barry digs out of the back to Mountjoy, who sets up Leah. Flat-footed. Well, see, same thing. Looked all right to me, but
Yeah, and you can't be mad at that one. She obviously was aiming for a spot and missed it by inches.
that's right. 14-9. Clinton leads the Cyclones in set number 2. Carly Bliss back to serve for the Clinton, and we just could not get that ball over the net. Once again,
I
kind
think
of
there might have
surprised.
been some miscommunication there on between Riley and Audrey. Or Audrey might have got hung up and couldn't get there for the set.
Kind of came off of Lizzie's hands kind of awkwardly, then and Josie just kind of spun around, couldn't quite get her hands on it.
Yeah,
so now
she was up trying to get it. It kind of went over, and then
Yep.
now we got the timeout.
Well, Coach is going to talk about this for a minute, so we're going to take a minute here while they do a timeout. Just for a minute, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with you for more Cornerstone Volleyball in just 1 minute. All right, we are back. That was not a subtle transition, but that's all right. 17-9 now. Clinton leading after Coach said, hey, let's talk this over. Joining you live from Anunk is Mr. Mackenzie Bowles' dad and Mr. Ava Hughes' dad, as we are typically known and collectively referred to. I've been called worse, Sean, I'll tell you
Oh,
that.
no kidding. So they the Maroons here, very elaborate ace song, a lot of choreography.
Well, with Les serving like she does, they got to put something together.
Yeah.
And things are kind of getting away from us now in set number 2, 19-9. So as Mr. Kinzinger would say, as Mr. Allie Kinzinger's dad would say, we are starting to run out of points.
Line, yep, good call. That is one thing I do have a view of is the end line there, and I can say without a doubt the ref was in the right there. So if the refs are watching this after the game, good job.
I know they rely on our feedback. Far side, Maroons just dump it over. Leah's just got to lean forward to get it over to Young. Lizzie just kind of dumps it over. Right back to Lizzie. Here comes Audrey Young. Now we just got a bumping match here. Good dig in the back row by Barry. She's just spot on. Hey, look at Josie just over the shoulder. This is good play here.
Oh. Yeah, Maddie let that one get away from her a little, but I gotta say she's been impressive in that libero role.
I could not agree more. And we're gonna get the point on that.
Okay, so it made it over and then
it snuck right in.
Okay.
It's now I actually thought the rule had been if it hits the upright, it's out. But I think it's as long as it's inside because it kind of hit the corner.
I think it might have hit, and maybe that's one where we got away with one.
I didn't see it land in Burroughs.
Well, I don't disagree that they might have touched it, but I thought it did hit the upright. But again, he's a foot away from it. We're 20 foot, so.
Yep. Well,
if you're letting us call the ins and outs, it's going to be a much different score.
That's exactly right. Well, I cannot say it enough. We cannot give those serves away. Barry sets up Young over to Mountjoy, who just once again net ate that one.
Yeah,
that's just plagued us this whole game. I'm really surprised. It's almost like we got extra 3-pound weights on our ankles or something. We're just not getting the elevation we normally get.
And it looks like it might be a timing issue. Like I said, it looks like they're coming down and trying to hit on the descent instead of on the. So that really hurt us against Fieldcrest too. Their middles were very strong, and I think we needed to. If we're going to tip it, you got to tip it a little higher, or swing through them.
Yep, I agree with that. Ibaka just barely gets under this. This is going to be trouble. Yep, and 23-11, Maroons holding serve here. And we've just had continued trouble getting that ball over the net in a attacking fashion.
Oh. That was good. That was going to be trouble.
Yeah, if it's heading for the top of the net, you just kind of never know what you're going to end up with there. All right, Maddie Fisher back to serve again in what I would agree would be a somewhat unusual circumstance. We don't see her serving a lot, but she's done well, so coach is giving her the call.
Do you believe in jinxes?
A little bit. We've had that actually. We've had that several times where I will say, "Oh, like Lainey's done something," and then immediately she'll have one go against her. So it just seems like that's just our habit. Young dumps it over. Lizzie Rogers finds the back of the court.
Beautiful way to get up and make them pay for leaving it hanging there.
24-13, and I think they're trying to figure out who's serving back there. Riley Mountjoy is going to serve.
Riley also has been just very consistent.
Yep, I agree. Clinton goes far side, just dumped over cross court. Lizzie picks it up, gets it to Mountjoy. Ibaka just dumps it over. Libero picks it up, goes to the middle.
Nice
Great dig by Barry to get it back over. Mountjoy over to Kinzinger. Nice placement in the back row. Near side, Ibaka is going to take it to Mountjoy. Here comes Lizzie. Blocked at the net. Great block by Clinton. Here comes Kinzinger. Boy, they're getting in our face every time we're going up for those kills, aren't we?
Yep.
Far side, back to Ibaka. Ibaka hits Barry. Barry to Lizzie. Really weird angle. And they're going to say that did not go over. And that will, unfortunately, do it. Tough fought second set, I would say, Sean. You know what? Honestly, I'm not sure if at least the last maybe 5-10 points, I would say I don't think the score indicates that set 25-13 in favor of Clinton, but I will say that same kind of monster came and got us again, where the first few points of that second set, we just were flat-footed, just were not generating the offense that we needed to. And Clinton, you do not want to leave Clinton open, to put that ball over the net, because they will do it, and they did so very well this past game. So, unfortunately, 13 points for the Cyclones in the second set to Clinton's 25. What that means, Sean, I'm doing some quick math on all this, right? So if you get some updates on the standings, Clinton is now 2-0, and Cornerstone now 0-2. And so they're really, things are now kind of bifurcated, if you want to use a fancy word for that. There are no teams that I'm aware of that are 1-1. We've got two teams that are 2-0, two teams that are 0-2, and so this will be this next match.
This will be the decider, huh?
This will be the decider. Yes, that is right. And it'll be interesting to see. You know, we've gotten a pretty good look here at Delavan, and they gave Clinton a really good run in that first set of the Delavan-Clinton match. It was 25-23, and I actually thought for a minute they're going to be going to extra points, right? But the second set was very similar to what we just saw with Cornerstone, where Delavan just really had trouble with Clinton, the onslaught of Clinton. So I hate to say it, if I'm gonna put a wager on it, I'm gonna put Clinton against Fieldcrest in that semifinal, based on what I see in the standings right now. So got to do some math on that in terms of where the standings are and what the propensity is for one of these teams to be able to come out and play for a better spot. But at this point, if I understand it right, if Cornerstone wins this next match, then they will be 1-3, and they'll play for 5th place in the 8 this afternoon, if I remember correctly. I'll see if I can get that all that calculus figured out for our viewers.
Let's see. So after we go out of pool play, then we start to look at who's. Yeah. So then we moved Pool A versus Pool B, and might have a change of venue.
Yes, that was the one I was really hoping wouldn't happen, because we got to pack stuff up and move. But that's all right. We're gonna do the best we can. So Cornerstone is going to play back-to-backs, and it is only 11:30. And so for folks that were planning to join for a 12 noon matchup with Delavan, you will be sorely disappointed, because you will not see nearly as much of the game as you would like. I am positive of that. But yeah, Fieldcrest 2-0. Fieldcrest having beaten Cornerstone, and then Delavan, and then obviously Clinton, just best of the Cyclones. And then I think in the first match they played against Delavan, they were victorious as well.
All right. Well, looking at the thing, I am actually have scoreboard responsibilities now. So
okay.
For Eric Hughes, I'm Sean Bowles signing off.
Sean, outstanding to have you with us.
Yeah, it was great to be here. A lot of fun. Thanks for letting me sit in.
You bet. You bet. Thank you, sir. Good luck with the scoring. Good luck with all the fun stuff. Oh, you're good. Good. Thanks so much for stopping over. Appreciate you. Sean Bowles, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, really great to have some help here. I'm sure you guys would rather listen to not just one person here. Okay, well, so listen, I'm going to take a minute just to do some math here on the brackets and what's going on in the tournament. I'm not sure if I can get any updates on what's happening across town in the other 4-team round robin. But I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break here, put some music on, let you guys grab some coffee or whatever you're grabbing. It's almost lunchtime. And I'll see if I can get some news for you in terms of how things are going with the tournament. And we'll be back in just a few minutes for the third matchup today for the Cornerstone Cyclones. Cornerstone will play Delavan, the Panthers from Delavan, very soon here, coming up in the next few minutes. We'll be right back with you with more volleyball. Stay tuned. All right, we are back. I'll let this music play just a little bit as we get geared up. So, we are ready, geared up for game number 3 between your Cornerstone Cyclones and the Delavan Panthers in purple. Couple things to update you on so far in the win-loss column. Fieldcrest and Clinton both 2-0, so they will play for the top seed in our bracket. So there'll be a team ending 3-0. There'll be one team ending 2-1. And then here with Cornerstone, since we're 0-2 and Delavan is 0-2, there will be one team ending 1-2 and one team ending 0-3. So winner of this game will most likely take on the third seed in the other bracket for 5th place. Sometime later today, I'll see if I can look that up and let you all know. I believe the 5th place game would be 3:30 p.m. That's the 3rd place pool play finishers. So if Cornerstone wins here at, well, it'll be before noon, that's for sure. But if Cornerstone wins this game, then they will end up playing the fifth place semifinal, or excuse, not semifinal. They'll be playing at 3:30 p.m. for the semifinal. Now that will be at Fieldcrest Middle School. So if you are trying to track where we are physically, which you're probably not, but if you were, we are currently at the Fieldcrest High School, which is in Minonk, Illinois. If we play at 3:30 for the fifth place spot, then we will end up at Fieldcrest Middle School, which is over in Winona. So we'll have to actually pack up all this fun gear and get over across town. Good news, that seems like that'll be plenty of time for us to get across town. Here come Delavan and Cyclones here to slap hands, exchange COVID, all the germies and all the fun stuff there. And we are getting set to get started here, everybody, in game number 3. Thank you very much again for joining us. Soon to be this afternoon, I'm Eric Hughes, no longer joined by Sean Bowles, who, Sean did a great job. It's really nice talking with Sean. I don't get a chance to interact with him too much, but really appreciated the commentary he provided. And also kind of made me feel sane because I agreed with everything he said. Seems like a pretty smart, level-headed dude. And glad to have him here with us. Also thinking about Mr. Kinzinger. He's probably out there just living in his best life out in the fields. And miss you, buddy. Glad to know you're doing what you enjoy out there, but your commentary is A-list, at least at least in the little universe that is Cornerstone. All right, we are getting set to go here. Cornerstone will serve first. Allie Kinzinger back in the back to get us started. And here we go. Game number 3. Cyclones, Panthers. Panthers going to just set it from the back. Barry dives, gets it over to Kinzinger. Mountjoy, back row. Barry again just dives and just makes a play. Lizzie's able to bump it back over. Delavan, center, just dumps it. Mountjoy bumps it to Kinzinger. Over to, my goodness. That's how we want to get started, ladies. Very nice job. Leah Huffman with a really strong kill. Cross court. Got a little bit of the net on that, and that's okay. It stayed in bounds, and that's what we want. So we'll keep serve 1-0. Strong serve from Allie. Delavan just glad to get it over, but they were able to get it deep. It was well played. And Delavan will pick up a point and the serve. 1-1 early. Number 11, Addison Fisher, back to serve for the Panthers. And she's just off of camera. You can't quite see her. But she is another southpaw, which, again, I have a soft spot for southpaws, being one myself. Net monster. Good reaction, though, by Lizzie to get that back over. Mountjoy all the way across to Leah. Dumps it to the donut. They pick it up. And they're going to just, bump it right into the net. So good to see that we limited Addison Fisher just to that one serve, because we've seen her go on a couple runs against other teams. And good player to watch. Leah to serve from the back. Very deep. Glad they played that. Looked like it might have been going out. Delavan just bumps it over. Leah sets. Ava Hughes in the front. Bumps it deep. Delavan looks like it could be going over. Well played by Lizzie, just to dump that deep into their back side. So just like that, we've seen from Leah in earlier games, just does a really good job of just placing the ball exactly where it needs to go. Now, that's all right. We got a 1 on that one. If we just find a way to tone down our serves just a little bit. Just get a little more over top of them. It would bode well. Delavan dumps it. Barry just goes straight back over the net, and we'll take that as a winner. I don't have the name for number 17. She is not listed on the roster, so she may have been playing up from. She may be playing up from their JV team, but just couldn't quite get that one over the net. Back in the back once again, Maddie Fisher to serve for the Cyclones. Good to see her back serving. You don't see her serve as often, but she's done a good job today. She likes to send that ball over that far side. You know what? I'd say keep doing it. that's been good. We've had good results from that. 5-2 in favor of Cornerstone early in match number 3 between Cornerstone and the Delavan Panthers. Maddie Fisher back to serve again. Delavan just having trouble with this one. It's going to get out of their hands, and we'll call it 6-2. Well, okay, Maddie. A little bit of it's not a twirly gig, but it's okay. You scored the point. You get to do whatever you want. Just maybe a little head nod, whatever makes sense. 6-2. Maddie now going the other side of the court. Very interesting placement. And now let's see. Oh, that's a little more of a, I don't know, it's maybe more of a hoedown. I think that's what Dan would call it. I'm not sure. And early on, Delavan wants to talk it over. So we've got a good solid 5-point lead. 7-2. Cornerstone will be right back with more volleyball. All right. Since I'm flying solo, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of music breaks here and there just so I can grab a quick swig of coffee and look at some of these stats. A Dan Kinzinger I am not. But very happy to be with you guys. Thanks for joining. We are in set 1 of game 3 between Cornerstone and the Delavan Panthers. 7-2 is the score. And Maddie Fisher back to serve again. Cross court. She's had a lot of good luck going back and forth. She was kind of serving near side, far side, and had a couple of really nice results from that, but this one caught up to her. Ava Hughes going to join the game for coming in for Maddie. And then she goes right back out so that Maddie Berry can come on. And I think Delavan just got a little excited. We're going to try that one again. Maddie Berry just tips it forward over to Lizzie Rogers. Backside, far side for Delavan. Big kill attempt coming over. Well, Avery got a hand on it, just maybe got a little further away. Hard for Allie to get to that one. So, point and serve will remain with the Panthers. Wow. That was hitting really deep. I know this setup is a little different camera setup than we normally have. We try to strive to be up kind of at midfield, 50-yard line, so to speak. But today it just did not work out. We're here kind of on the baseline, so it's a little harder to see depth. But wow, look at Lizzie Rogers working so hard to get it back over. Allie was able to bump it over. It's going far side for Delavan. That's a really big kill attempt over there. Avery did a great job to get it towards Lainey Smith, but then I think we got called for 2 hits because Lainey hit the ball, then the ball hit her, and that's how that goes. So now we're at 6-7, a 1-point lead only for Cornerstone. Evie Cording says, I'm just going to take a second here, see if I can just stop some momentum, tie my shoe. Not a bad tactic. Deep. Ibaka sets up, Kinzinger. Far side. Wow. Well done by Avery to dig that out. Back over to Lizzie Rogers, deep in their territory. That was a beautiful hit by Lizzie. I'm telling you what, I will continue to say it. Lizzie is just having a wonderful, wonderful morning of volleyball today. She has just been spot on with the placement of the ball. Got to keep getting her the ball. She's done very well for us. So kudos to Lizzie being a big part of our offense today. Aubrey Young back to serve. Good placement. Up front, far side. Delavan hits. Yep. Laney got a hand on it, but that's all right. Just couldn't get under it there. Lizzie made a dive. Good effort all around, though. Back to serve for Delavan, number 5, Lily Carlton. Almost right, too. Lizzie up. Well, if you have trouble seeing that, we've mentioned it in a couple other games, but the ceiling here is a little bit low. They've got some metal rafters that you can't quite, they're not quite in shot, but they kind of hang a little lower than the actual ceiling, and it's given all the teams trouble throughout the entire morning, if I'm being honest with you. There's been several points go back and forth that were really unearned errors by both teams. So that one went Delavan's way. And so did that. Just placed that ball right where we were not. No other way to say that. It is now 10-8 in favor of Delavan. So our lead has now dissipated. Call it 11-8. Maddie, that's a tricky. Those are always really tricky ones. Those just came right at Maddie, where you've got to make a split-second decision on whether you're going to hit that with your hands and bump it up in the air, or whether you're going to actually put hands together and try to come at it from the bottom. And when it just strikes you, like kind of in the middle of your torso like that, kind of near your armpits almost, just really tough to make a decision in time to really make a good play on it. And that was a good example of Maddie just struggling to try to get in front of the ball, if nothing else. And so coach just wanted to have a quick chat about that, called the timeout, only used 30 seconds of it. So it's most likely just a message to reinforce what we've already probably talked to the girls about. Hey, listen, let's make sure our serve receive is tight. Let's get behind that ball, and let's try to anticipate where that serve's headed. All right, Audrey Young subs out. Mountjoy's back in for your Cyclones. Coming right to Barry. A little confusing there. Lizzie was able to get up in the air, but that was a tough one. Avery see her to say, that was me. I think she and Maddie were both going after it and just kind of got in each other's way a little bit. 12-8. That one long, coming back to Cornerstone, which we need. We need that side out. Aubrey's going to head out. And Leah Huffman will check back in for the Cyclones. Lizzie Rogers back to serve. Deep. Delavan bumps up near side, number 1. Really nice strike, but it goes out of bounds. So we'll call that a point for your Cyclones. 12-10 now. I don't know if I can say that there's a strong momentum shift one way or the other here between the two teams. It's just a lot of back and forth. Little bump over. Well, that's going to be trouble. There we go. Laney did a great job bumping that deep. Near side, number 11. Number 11 is one to watch out for. Edison Fisher. Again, that's southpaw. She gets a good elevation on her kill attempts, and she's brought a lot of offense to these Panthers. Rogers to Mountjoy, over to Leah, dumps it into the donut. What a great play by Leah. Good heads-up play just to put that ball where it needs to go. Really like that we weren't obsessed with just the power of that. Just wanted to find good placement on it. So, well done. Hughes back in the game for Laney Smith. Barry back to serve. Oh, that's just perfect placement. I'm wondering if Maddie was like, hey, that's what I experienced a couple serves ago. Just couldn't quite find a way to handle it. It's now 13-12, so we're back to within 1. Wow, great serve. Just barely made it over the net. Middle just to kill it over. Yep, and we'll take another point. That's out of bounds, and we are tied up, folks. 13-13. So our serve has been much better so far this game, I would say, versus earlier today, and even in the last week or so. We've had some kind of ups and downs with our serve, but today we are doing really, really well. Lizzie's doing the twirly gig, and she's not even the server. Lizzie's just hyped up. That's good. Brings a lot of good energy to the team, and I really like that about her. You'll see her just kind of jump around and just got to get some energy out. She's got a lot of it. So just bumped over. Lizzie sets it up for Mountjoy. Goes over to Kinzinger. Back row. Delvin just got to bump it over here. Nope. Oh, that was a good save by Lizzie. Sets up Hughes right up front. Dumps it into the donut. Hughes not known for overpowering the ball, but what I like about what Ava does is, first, she's a tall young lady. She can get over the net pretty quickly, but she doesn't always look for power. She tries to find the right spot to put the ball. And that one makes it 15-13. And just like that, 15-14. So we have a lead of 1 whole point. Mackenzie Ring, the libero for Delavan High School, back to serve. Just out of picture for now. There she is. Mountjoy up for Kinzinger. Bumps it over. Far side. Back row. Lizzie sets up Mountjoy again, who goes back to Kinzinger. I like that combination. It's worked well for us. Kinzinger bumps it over. Just a bump back. Lizzie back to Mountjoy again, who goes back to Leah. Again, smart play. Smart play. Like what Leah's done here a couple times. Just find that open space. I like how she's balancing that out with the power. 16-14. Bumped over. Back row. Lizzie sets up Mountjoy, who goes... Sorry, I said that wrong. Goes to Mountjoy. And that one just barely makes it in. We're still at a 1-point game. Number 11, Addison Fisher back to serve. We are tied up, folks. 16-16 here in set number 1. Game number 3. This is the game to determine who will play for the 5th place spot this afternoon. Kinzinger over to Leah Hoffman, who once again finds the open space. Two good kills by Leah. Just, again, not overpowering the ball, just finding open space. Really like that. Now she's going to be rewarded by getting the serve. Front row for the Cyclones are just telling jokes or something up there. They're all smiles, which is good to see. And Leah just doesn't quite find the other side of the court. So we are sided out. Is that how you say that? We're sided out? Side out? Not sure how to say that. Panthers to serve, and officials having a quick word here. In the net. Sorry for that. My headset was scraping my collar. Apologies for that. 18-17 now. Maddie Fisher again back to serve for the Cyclones. So she's getting a lot of work back there, which is good to see. She's done good for us on the serve. Let's see which side she picks. She finally goes middle. Far side, Delavan. Very, very nice. Very nice. Carol Lowry with that kill for Delavan. Just straight ahead power. Good power and placement. Tied up at 18. Maddie Berry back in. Ava Hughes takes a quick seat here. Lizzie sets it up. Kinzinger over to Mountjoy. Boy, good save by Mountjoy to keep it alive. Comes back to her. She hits cross court. Delavan hits it up far side once again into the net. Yeah, good play by Mountjoy there to keep that alive. When those balls come right back to you from over the net, first of all, you got to land, you got to jump back up, you've got to time the hit so it gets back over the net. A lot of mechanics have to happen just right. Riley did a really good job. Now she's back to serve. This one goes out. So we'll take another point now, up by 2, 20-18. And starting to feel the team clicking a little bit more here in the middle and latter parts of this first set. We still have some work to do with unforced errors and just keeping our play a little cleaner, but momentum's definitely in our favor so far. Far side. Kinzinger got a hand on it. Now it's coming back her way. She's going to flat foot it deep into Delavan territory. Well, I think keys for the success we've had so far is we are putting the ball in the right spot. So I think maybe one of the things Coach was talking to the girls about in the last time out was, hey, listen, let's downshift on the power. We don't have to hit it so darn hard. Let's get it in the right spot. And as I would put it, this is our game. This is how we play. We want to make sure that we're playing solid, getting the ball over the net, causing Delavan to make choices. And for the most part, that's gone in our favor when we play our game. It's 21-19. 21-19. Number 5, Lily Carlton for Delavan is back to serve. This going a little far to the left there, so 22-19. And if Lizzie Rogers can keep serve here 3 times in a row, we'll have set 1 in our favor in our first set of the morning. Lizzie goes deep. Libero picks it up, sets it up front, far side. Delavan, left-handed hit. Cross court, comes back over in a single, just bumps it back to Maddie Berry, who just couldn't quite get her hands underneath it. That was a tough one to handle. You got to watch out over there. Addison Fisher for Delavan will make you pay if you set her up and give her the ball. So got to make sure that we're doing our best to defend against her and not allowing easy kills like that. Carol Lowry back to serve for Delavan. Back to Maddie Berry. Sets up Mountjoy, far side. Leah Huffman just dumps it cross court. Delavan's coming back here, just gets in the net. And those unforced errors, start to see this momentum shift where the unforced errors seem to start to favor Delavan. So, again, if Coach was talking to our team about just playing conservative, solid ball, it's working out. Maddie Berry to serve, 23-20. Cornerstone leads. Wow. Just a fantastic serve. Maddie goes, I'll do a little twirly gig. That was just a really well-placed ball. I think the one good thing about this camera angle is you can really see just how close that ball just went right over the net, deep into Delavan territory here. And that one just a little too deep, but we are at set point, folks, 24-21. So next side out for Cornerstone means the set. Libero back to serve for Delavan. Goes deep. Lizzie sets up Mountjoy, who just bumped the net. That's okay. Right idea. Riley. We've had a few of those. Just doesn't quite get over the net. I know Leah had a couple of those earlier. So maybe we just need to split the difference between the overpowering and maybe not quite hitting it hard enough. Lizzie. Couldn't find anyone on the other end of that one. So now it's 24-23. And Coach Moore wants to talk it over. So we'll let him do that for 1 minute. We will be back with you in that time to finish up set number 1. Be right back. Well, that was fast. Just quick conversations here. And we're back to live action. 24-23. So if we can stave off Deleving's attack. We will have set number 1 here. Goes deep. Leah to Barry. Kinzinger cross court. Net Monster helps us out. Near side. Oh, there we go. There we go, folks. That would be Cornerstone's first set of the morning. 25-23. Largely on the shoulders of just good, solid, fundamental play. And really, especially in the latter part of that set, just a reduction in the errors. Seemed like we were just executing a little bit better than we had been. That said, we still have work to do, folks. Set number 2 will come here very shortly, about a 2.5 minute break, and we will come back for the second set of your Cornerstone Cyclones versus the Delavan Panthers here in game number 3 of the Fieldcrest Invitational Varsity Volleyball Tournament. Say that 3 times fast. We'll be right back, folks. Thank you. Okay, we are coming back. I was looking at some of the stats for the Delavan Panthers and a couple of the ladies I mentioned on their team that have really produced a lot of offense for them. Carol Lowry, number 1 outside hitter, who's a sophomore, and as we've talked about, Addie Fisher, who's looking like she's going to be back to serve. Those 2 ladies, number 1 and number 11 for Delavan, they account for about 60% of their kills, their offense. Ms. Lowry with 60 kills. Addison Fisher with 43. With the stats I've got in front of me, which may be antiquated a little bit, but either way, you get the point. Those are the 2 ladies we need to be very careful to defend. On our side, you all know our team. I love the fact that we've got some folks that really know how to generate offense, but it is a team effort for us, folks, and that's always exciting. Here we go. We are underway. Set number 2. And very quickly, it is 1-0 Delavan. Lizzie Rogers sets to the front line, but no one there to pick it up. And we got to be careful here, Cornerstone. We do not want to come out flat-footed. We do not want to come out on our heels. We want to be attacking the ball. Great dig by Lizzie to bring it back over the net. Wow, goodness. Well, Kinzinger does the same thing. Back to Leah Huffman. Back row, far side. Number 3, big kill. Hey, Maddie Berry, great to dig that out of the back row. We're going to go back to the far side. Leah Huffman over to Mountjoy, who just dumps it right over the hands of their blockers. That was well played by Riley. Good overall defense, too. Our back line did a great job that time around with digging the ball out on their kill attempts. They're hitting the ball hard. They're getting the ball over the net. We did a great job of defending. Another strong start for these Cyclones. Barry sets it forward. Kinzinger over to Lizzie Rogers. But half the time I want to say Lizzie, I say Leah. I apologize. Yep, so if you can see Coach over there, and sorry, I've got this banner still up. That's my bad. I apologize. You see Coach over here. So he's doing his thing, right? You see him come over the top of the shoulder saying, you've got to let that ball come down just a little bit more. We're just getting a little too anxious on that play. That's my fault. You didn't really get to see it because I didn't have it set up right. I apologize. Well, we're back at it here. Kinzinger over to Mountjoy. Dumps it over. And we're going to get that. We're going to get that point. Looks like Delavan was just in the net just a little bit more than the official would like. So side out to the Cyclones. Back to Maddie Berry to serve. Tied up 3-3 in set number 2. Delavan goes far side. Big block by Lainey Smith in the front. They're going to go right back to her. She's going to dump it over. And it's net monster on our side. So we'll take that one. Up by 1 now, the Cyclones are in what seems to have been a mostly 1 to 2 point match so far through the first set. And now 4-4. Back to Delavan. Maddie sets it up. Kinzinger just dumps it over to the donut. Avery Baca was able to get to it. Kinzinger over to Lizzie. Good block up front. Mountjoy finds his open spot. They're able to dig it out. Staying far side on the Delavan group. Yeah. Maddie Berry doing what she does so well. Just diving, trying to get in the front of the ball. This one she didn't quite get to, but really got to give her a lot of credit. I mean, all the ladies do a great job. Put in the effort, put in the work. But I will say Maddie just is absolutely, well, you see Avery as well right there. All these ladies are more than willing to dive like that, try to make plays, but it's just so impressive. There's a technique to that is certainly not anything I'm gonna be trying anytime soon, but it's impressive to see them, the effort they put into it. Lizzie goes cross court. Delavan setting back up on the far side. Big strike there by number 1, Kara Lowry. She is again responsible for, north of 60 kills for this Delavan team, so she is looked upon quite often, and you see why with that last play. 7-4 in favor of Delavan now. Abaca just sends it back over. One hit wonder. Up center, dumped over, back into the net. And we're going to call that 4 hits. Riley Mountjoy back to serve for your Cyclones. 7-5 here. Early in set number 2. Far side. Big strike again by Lowry. Lizzie dumps it back. They're just going to have to, give this one back. Abaca goes up front. Mountjoy got in the net with that one. Well, no, they're going to say she had 2 hits, which, I don't know if you're like me when you're watching these games, I think that's one of the hardest ones to pick up on. I don't know how the refs do it. I'm sure Coach could explain it. I'm sure Dan could probably explain it. I have a real struggle with that. I don't know if I ever see him do that when it's called. Over to Lizzie Rogers. Hitting it deep, little too deep. And, I've seen a couple times now, if you watch back in the back, Maddie Berry and Avery Ibaka, they need to huddle up because they're both doing a great job of getting to the ball, but they're kind of getting into each other's soup just a little bit. This one clearly for Avery. Goes over to Mountjoy. Here comes Lizzie just to dump it deep. Setting up center. Wow, really great strike. Now that was back to number 11, Addison Fisher, the other kind of go-to hitter for Delavan. So it's your usual suspects, folks. It's no secrets who they're sending the ball to. Here come the Delavan Panthers. Baca sets up Mountjoy, who goes to, Kinzinger just had to dump it over. She had a couple tall players trying to block her. Barry digs it out of the back. Over to Mountjoy. Lizzie goes cross court. And they're going to set up Lowry again. Big block by Lainey Smith. There you go, Lainey. Lainey, who I will say with all sincerity, she very frequently proves to us that you don't have to be tall to be effective as a front row player. Lainey gets really great elevation on her blocks, and that was a really great example of that. Really good to see her jumping up, activating in the front row. 11-7. Mountjoy over to Evie Cording, who's in the game. She put a lot of pepper on that one. That's going to be back over the net. Lainey Smith again up front with the block. She's going up at it again. Lainey's doing just a great job up there. Dumped over. Barry to Mountjoy. Over to Cording. Nice placement there. Yeah, this is good. We're starting to see some organization here. Good play up front. That's boding well for us. Oops, sorry, bumped the table. Gosh, I'm a mess today, folks. It is 11-6. And Lizzie Rogers is back to serve. Thanks so much for joining me. It's normally us. Dan Kinzinger is woefully doing more important things, but it's a bummer for me not to have my partner in crime. But, Sean Bolt did a great job. If you guys were on earlier, Sean did a really good job. He may have kind of set himself up to be voluntold again to join us next time we need another head-for-head set. It's 11-7. Lizzie Rogers to serve again. This is going deep. Delavan just going to dump it back. Lizzie dumps back to Mountjoy. Over to Leah. Dang, you see, I did it again, folks. When I want to say Lizzie, I say Leah. When I want to say Leah, I say Lizzie. So my apologies. And for the ladies, if you're listening, when you go back to watch this again, I'm so sorry. Good kill attempt, just still worked in Delavan's favor. Barry over to Mountjoy. Evie Cording takes some off of it. Back to Mountjoy. We're going to give it back to Evie. Great job by Evie Cording. I like that they're feeding her on that far side. She's done a great job coming into the game. A couple of really nice kills on that far side. Barry out. Zeller's in. Lainey Smith to serve. Back deep for the Panthers. Set up near side. Great block attempt by Leah. Zellers was able to get over the net. Addison Fisher hits long. Boy, that was a really great sequence up front with Leah and Josie. Just good natural play there just to keep the ball alive. And we'll send it back to Lainey for another serve. This one's deep. Libero. Bumped up far side, and just got through the blocker hands. That's good finesse play there by number 3, Charlie Green. Side out to the Panthers. 13-9. If you're just joining us, this is the third game of the tournament for the Cyclones. They are 0-2 so far. They're playing Delavan, who is also 0-2. So this game will essentially decide who is going to play for 5th place this afternoon. If the Cyclones win this game, they will do so. They'll play at 3:30 p.m. over at the middle school for 5th place in the tournament. If that does not happen, if they happen to lose this game, then they'll play for 7th place, which I believe takes place at... Let me find it. 7th place game is at 2:30. So the 7th place game and the 5th place game are both taking place at Fieldcrest Middle School. So if you're a Cyclone fan and you haven't made it out and you're thinking you might want to come out and watch some volleyball, you'll need to go to Winona to see us play at either 2:30 or 3:30 this afternoon for either the 7th or the 5th place match, respectively. 7th place game is the 4th place pool play finishers from both the brackets. If that made any sense whatsoever, I'm impressed. But hopefully we'll be playing at 3:30 for 5th place when we win here today. This might be one of the largest deficits we've seen, though, in this game. So for Cornerstone, we got to play some catch-up here to keep this going from going to 3 sets. Right now, 16-10 in favor of the Panthers. Leah just hit her in that weird spot, y'all. That's just a thing that I've seen starting to do this commentating thing that I wasn't aware of happen as frequently as it does. It's just when those serves come back and they're coming at you so hard, and they're hitting you in just the right spot. They're just kind of right at armpit height. You got to make a decision on whether you want to bump it or whether you want to just try to get underneath it with your palms. And that time, Leah just didn't have much time to react. 18-10 now in favor of the Panthers. Service error headed back to the Cyclones, 18-11. And Leah is going to get a chance to serve here. Leah, who's done very well with her serving and has had a really great few games here in terms of just offense in general. Great short serve. Deleving's got to get it over from the back line, and they do. That was a very good effort by number 1. Once again, Carol Lowry with a lot of offense generated for Delevin here. Leah will take a quick seat. Abria Baca will join the back row here with Maddie Berry and Lizzie Rogers. So we are getting dangerously close to a 3rd set here. So Cornerstone's got to stop the bleeding here. Berry flips it to Kinzinger. Lizzie didn't really have much of a shot at that one. And Mia Mammon, number 8 for Delevin, back to serve. Short in the net. 8-point game, 2012. Laney Smith in, Zeller's out. Maddie Berry's going to be back to serve. Now, Maddie's had a couple of good runs as a server, and be great to see her get a few here. Delevin sets up far side. Big swing by number 1, Carol Lowry, who is just getting mauled by her teammates. She has been a very good offensive player for Delevin, really this entire game. And I see a lot of smiles up front for Delevin. They're enjoying this, and they should be. They're up 21-12. Cornerstone's got to find a way to stop the bleeding here. Mountjoy plays it way up high, and it once again hit those rafters, which has been really a relatively significant factor for all teams playing in this gymnasium. It's been a few times almost every game you'll see a few go into the rafters and come out at a different angle. And we are getting lucky here because Delevin is kind of giving us a few points here and there with their service errors and just maybe hitting a few in the net. So we've got to capitalize on that and start buttoning up our game here if we want to keep this to 2 sets. We're running out of points. Far side, Lowry into the net. So that's what we want to see. We want to see we're ready to defend that. We had our front line ready to go up against her. She's a very tall player, so tough to defend against. Mountjoy, short serve. That was deceptive, too. If you saw that, I mean, if you heard it, it was kind of a smack, but it looked like it was going to go a lot further than it did. So that was a interesting tactic. I'm not sure if that was intended, Riley, or not, but it was well done. This one, same spot. Delevin picks up on it. They're going to set from the middle. Maddie Berry over to Mountjoy. Lizzie sends it deep. Delevin's going to have to just bump this one over from the center. Back to Maddie. Maddie sends it up to Mountjoy, who sets up Lizzie, who's just going to give it a nice little dump over the net. That was well played as well. Good sequence for the Cyclones, and yeah, we're picking up steam, folks. Delavan wants to talk it over. That's never a bad thing. Take a second just to review this one more time for folks, just to make sure that I'm making sense, which is not always the case. Clinton is 2-0. They will play next against Fieldcrest, and those two teams are both undefeated at 2 games apiece. So they will essentially play to see who ends up in the top seed to play in the semifinals, which is the first, well, one of the 2 semifinal matches. So at 2:30 and at 3:30, there's a first place versus a second place, Pool A versus Pool B match. And so one of those teams, either Clinton or Fieldcrest, will play in the first game, and then the other will not. But the Cornerstone Cyclones, what we really would like to see them play is it in the 5th place game, which would be at 3:30 p.m. And so once again, that would be our happy path now. We are 0-2. If we pick up this win, we'll be 1-2, and then we'll have a chance to play the 3rd place finisher in the other pool for 5th place in the tournament. Far side for Delavan. Lowry sets up. Big hit again. Mountjoy sends it over to Kinzinger, who just gets it over the net. Just kind of surprises that front line. And we are, again, continuing to claw our way back. 22-17. Cornerstone back to serve with Riley Mountjoy. Delavan sets up. Far side, Lowry once again. Just dumps it deep. Mountjoy gets a hold of it. Ibaka sends it over to Lizzie. Puts it near side here for Delavan, who's going to try to bump it over. Lizzie bumps it back over to Mountjoy. A lot of bumping going on here. Kinzinger over to Delavan. Delavan bumps it deep. Barry's able to pick it up. Sets up Lizzie Rogers. There, libero picks that up. Back to Lowry, who once again delivers. And I think Cornerstone is going to need to find a way to get in her way, because she has really had an open net. I mean, we're trying to get up and block her, but she's just got such good elevation. And now we've got set point, everyone, for Delavan, who has really picked up their game in this second set. There's still life in us here, but we are down to our last point, folks. Otherwise, we'll go to 3 sets. Mountjoy to Lizzie Rogers, who goes cross court. Smart play by Lizzie. Leah's going to check back in for Avery. All right, Lizzie Rogers is going to get the serve back in the back court. So we got to keep this under control, Lizzie. Let's not hit it too far. Short. Well, she had the right idea. Just didn't quite get there. So now, folks, 25-18 with our second set. So these are 2 close sets here. First set, 25-23, went to Cornerstone. Second set, 25-18, went to Delavan. So we're at a 50-41 deficit in terms of the scoring. But we are set here for set number 3 in about 3 minutes. So we'll take a quick break, get some music up for you guys just to give you a minute to get set up for the final set of this match, but hopefully a match that leads us to the 5th place matchup later this afternoon. We'll be right back with the 3rd set of Delavan versus your Cornerstone Cyclones here in just a minute. here we go. We are 1 minute away from set number 3. Pool A of the 2025 Night Invitational. I keep calling it the Fieldcrest Invitational, but it's really the Night Invitational, to quote them. Pool A includes Fieldcrest, Clinton. Those two teams will play here momentarily to see who will end up as the first seed in our pool that will end up in the first and second semifinal matches, respectively. Those will take place this afternoon starting at 2:30 p.m. So after Cornerstone's set 3, we'll have one more game here in the morning, and then we'll have a little morning. It's afternoon now, but 1 o'clock game will take place, and then we'll have a small break, and then we'll start the 7th place semifinal, 5th place semifinal, 3rd place, and then your championship game at 5:30 this evening. We are set, though, to start set 3 of this match. We are not ready to go home yet. Officials are getting everything situated here. I think it would be important at some point for maybe to have Coach Unruh, Coach Morin come do an interview with us where we can ask them to kind of talk us through some of the intricacies of the substitutions and the libero. Jeff did a great job sending us some documentation to read up on libero, and I did. And it's still a tricky thing to understand. And so I think it might be neat one of these days. It's kind of tough to catch Coach, especially on game day. You want to let him focus on the girls. But I mentioned it to Dan, and I'm not sure if Dan's listening or not, but I mentioned to Dan it might be nice to take one of these wireless mics we use for announcing lineups and everything, and maybe use that to just see if we can catch Coach or a couple of the players just between sets or between games, and just ask a few questions just to give us a better understanding of how we can bring you guys even more detail around what's happening. Right now there's a dance competition that Lizzie is either winning, or I'm not sure who else is joining the competition, but Lizzie's doing handstands, and then she was doing what I can only describe as the mailroom dance from Elf. I'm sure that dance has an actual name, but that's what I'm going to call it. And here we go, set 4, set 3. Allie Kinzinger in the back for the Cyclones, ready to tee it up. And here we go. Well, Allie has so much to offer the team. She does such a great job as a setter, as a hitter. But words of her father, she has had trouble with her serve this year. And so Allie, like several players, like Lizzie, Mackenzie, Leah, these are players that are multifaceted. Riley's just called upon to do many things. Serve, defend, set. And, Allie does it with the best of them. But she's had a rough season with her serve, so hopefully that can come back. It is 2-0. It is 3-0. Didn't take long for that to advance. So Cornerstone early here needs to get locked in. I'm going to look up and see. I don't want to assume whether this is a game played to 15 or game played to 25. I'm thinking it's played to 15, but I'll see if I can validate that for you. Four to nothing. Leah steps out for a moment. Maddie Berry with a great dig out of the back. Over to Mountjoy, just dumps it over. Delavan dumps it back again. Berry sets up Lizzie Rogers. Blocked at the net. 5-0 to Delavan. Oh. Boy, and we've got to stop the bleeding here. I think Coach is going to want to stop talking over. Really, really fast start to 6-0. That took no time at all. And so Coach Morin's going to talk to the girls here, see if we can reset. I don't see, I'm sure it's here, and if someone knows and can text me, I will be set straight here. I believe somewhere here in this documentation there should be something that tells me. I'm going to assume that the third set goes to 15. So we'll call it that way, and if we get to 15 and they keep going, then, well, we were wrong. But for now, we have bigger things to contend with. Our Cyclones trailing 6-0 in the third set against a Delavan Panthers team who has come out swinging this third set from the serving line and from the front line. In the game for the Cyclones, Mountjoy, Hughes, Kinzinger, Bowles, Barry, and Rogers. Serve comes back. Barry sets up Kinzinger, who just dumps it over. Libero goes far side. Kinzinger picks it up. Back to Lizzie. To Mountjoy. Goes cross court. What a nice placement by Mountjoy. That's right. Good to see her just celebrate that. That was well done. We needed that point. We needed that side out. Cyclones trailing 6-1 with the serve. And Mackenzie Bowles back to serve for our Cyclones. What's to make up for that last one? Didn't quite get over the net. Here we go. Live action. Delavan goes far side. Lowry from the back. Hits it deep. Bowles gets a hold of it, but boy, it just skyrockets up to the ceiling. Just really nothing to do with that one. Once it gets to the ceiling, you just don't know where it's headed. And that one, it went up high quickly, so that was a lot of power behind Lowry's kill there. Delavan's got the serve. Short serve by Gwen Tierney. Middle blocker for Delavan. And Cyclones get it right back. Avy Hughes will sub out. Lainey Smith in. Lainey's done a great job up front. Good to see her back up there. Mountjoy's going to take a quick break too, and Evie Corden's going to step out to the front line for these Cyclones. Barry to serve. Whoa, great placement. Just, again, barely snuck over the net. Lowry just hammers it. Dug out of the back. Back to Lizzie Rogers. Back row. They're going to set up Lowry again. Cross court. Dumps it right down into the donut. Boy, just Delavan just on a roll right now. Smart play from their front line. They're feeding her because they know that she can deliver. And that last sequence was just really heads-up play by the Panthers. Just really well done. Hard to defend that. Panthers to serve. Bowles sets up Kinzinger, who goes over to Cording. Just dumps it back deep. They're going to go right back to where you know who. There she goes. Net monster. Blocked at the net. Lainey Smith continue to work up front for that. Lizzie gets it over to Kinzinger, who sets Lizzie back up. We're going cross court. Blocked at the net. Still live, and we just couldn't pick that one up. Once again, momentum in the favor of the Delavan Panthers. Their front line has just been really impressive in terms of just their heads-up play, their ability to block. But I can tell you, it's pretty predictable where that ball's going to end up. They're going to try to get it over to Lowry on the front side whenever she's on that court. 9-2 in set number 3. Serve goes deep. Barry just tries to keep it in play. What a great job by Kinzinger to keep that ball alive. They're going to set Lowry up again. Cording with a great block attempt. Did not go the way we wanted it to, but that's what we need. We need players to get up and get in her face and get those block attempts at her. Make her work harder for those points because she's really just had her way with us. 11-2, folks. We've got to stop this bleeding now. Rogers. Kinzinger back to Rogers. Dumps it. Tipped at the net. Far side back to Lowry. Back to Rogers. Over to Kinzinger. The three of them are just playing catch here. Lowry just has to bump it over. Lizzie. Cording near side, or far side, excuse me. Into the net. And so Delavan will keep the serve. 12-2 now. 10-point deficit here in set number 3. Barry just bumps it up. Bowles forward to Kinzinger. Bumps it over, goes high up, almost hits those rafters. Lowry back, big block by Laney Smith in the front. Let's go, Laney. Laney is just really delivering here on her defensive play from the middle. Just getting good elevation. She's really timing her jumps well, too, to be able to be there to block those hits. And that's really made a big difference in terms of keeping the momentum, moving in our direction. Kinzinger is going to take a step out. Fisher's going to take a step in, and Audrey Young returns for the Cyclones here in set 3 to serve. Middle. Well, again, great opportunity, good block attempt. And we're down to, I believe, our last couple points here. So, number 5, Lily Carlton will serve for Delavan. Barry sets up. Laney Smith goes far side. That just snuck in, just inside. And Laney Smith giving some really great play here, both defensively, offensively. It is 13-4, and if my hunch is correct, we are down to our last 2 points here. So Lizzie's got to go on a run. We'd like to see her get about, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 in a row. No, she'd only need 11. No, she would need 12. Fisher, far side, tipped at the net, falls on their side. We'll get the point on that one. Fisher, good job of getting over their defense. And Lizzie keeps her serve. Lizzie just trying to take a breath back there. Not set it too far, which she does not. Near side, back to Lowry. Great job by Lizzie keeping it into play, but that one's going to be tough. Just got into the net. Nothing that Fisher could have done on that one. And we could be here at match point. 14-5. Lowry with the serve. Mountjoy over to Bowles. Strong kill. Big swing by Bowles on that near side. Once again, still alive here, folks. We've got some really good play coming out of our Cornerstone Cyclones. We just got to keep that ball over the net. Laney Smith to serve. 14-6. Deep. That's trouble. That one came off the libero's hands. Just a little bit strange there. 14-7. Here comes Laney Smith. Libero digs it out. Bumps. Lowry just sets it over. And we're going to get the point on that. Somehow she's going to call that as 2 hits, which I've mentioned already. I don't understand. I'm sure any of these ladies could explain it to me very well, but it's just a tough one. Laney Smith, 14-8. Set 3. Libero sets it up front. Hughes, big block. But unfortunately, that is going to do it. The last play of the game was a good block on Hughes' part, and then they just got a hold of it, dumped it over far side. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will close out the morning play for your Cornerstone Cyclones. Even though it's not the morning anymore, I keep saying that, but it is 0-3 for your Cyclones. We will play at 2:30 p.m. for 7th place as one of the 4th place pool finishers. I do not know, some of you may know, I do not know who on the other side of the equation we would play against, but the options here, Cornerstone at 2:30 p.m. would play against either St. Bede, Olympia, Flanagan Cornell, or Decatur Eisenhower. That's the Pool B schools. We will be broadcasting live from Fieldcrest Middle School. That's on Elm Street in Winona, Illinois, just a few miles from where we are now. So we're going to pack all this gear up, and we're going to take a quick drive, get set back up. And in about an hour and 45 minutes, if my math is right, we'll be back online talking with you guys. And we'll be playing for 7th place in this year's 2025 Night Invitational Varsity Volleyball Tournament. Thanks again for your support and listening to our live broadcasts. Looking forward to being back with you here in just a little bit. For now, we will be back with you soon. Thank you very much.